Hello, everybody. Okay, I've got so many things I want to make, but I'm going to have to do one or two things every day because I got a lot to make and that I want to make. Anyway, I got a thing I want to do this year with bugles, white chocolate, and M&Ms. So I'll be doing that. But right now, I am going to make a dish or a pot that my grandma used to make. Grandma Romine. She made hers in an electric skillet. I'm going to make mine in a pan on my gas stove. But Grandma, her name's Cerise. I used to sneak in the kitchen at my Aunt Marcine's because she lived with my Aunt Marcine. She was helping them out a little bit. And she would go to different kids' homes and stay and then make her rounds. And it was always fun because I always seemed like I got to go to the places that she was at, on my weekends. But anyway, here she put some butter. Back then, we didn't think about butter being at a high price. I don't think, unless it was high for them. But then she would always take some bacon grease. Yes, she kept bacon grease. Grandma was one of them cooks that was a one-pot person a lot. She liked to put several things in one pot. One day, I'm going to make her chicken and potatoes and noodles. She used to make that in one pot. She'd come up to the cabin after I had children, and we lived in that old cabin. She'd come up and make that one pot dish, and it was really good because it was interesting to see all that stuff put together yet come out so good. So I'm going to take a little bit of my bacon grease here. I think that's a tablespoon. Put it in here. Yeah, I made a mess here. I'll have to do it this way. Just clean that thing out. I think I just made a bigger mess than if I'd have just done it that way to start with. Okay, now I'm going to put this on the stove. That's what I'm going to put all this in. I'll just sit that there for a minute. Then I'm going to peel. That's butter. I'm going to have, this is I don't know if it's a Japanese cabbage or what. It's a different type of cabbage that Dan got up to the international store. So the other one I'm going to just parboil it like for 2 minutes and then cool it down and freeze it so we can have another meal with it. This here, I'll be eating on this for a few days. So I'm the type of person, I like to just get something and make it and eat it that way for a while. So I'm going to have this, and Grandma always put potatoes. And by the way, today I am thinking about Mom and Grandma and them, and I know Mom loves snow, was never afraid of snow, but she always loves snow, and I've been having her on my mind today. So, and I was thinking about Grandma Romine too, and I thought, I'm going to make one of Grandma Romine's dishes. And I'm going to go ahead and put my stuff in here. So yeah, she used the potatoes. Well, anyway, she would do it in a electric skillet. And I would always try to go in there and get that smoked sausage out of there and eat it. I didn't like the cabbage. I didn't want the other stuff. And she told me, she said, now, Pammy, you stay out of that because that goes with the whole meal. So I would have to get one piece and stay out of it the rest of the time it was cooking. These are kind of wet, all this stuff, because it's been washed. But how many of you all make one pot meals? I've done so many meals with just different things like bread, make bread and biscuits and a meat and a potato and a veggie and all that stuff. And I understand now why Grandma made one pot meals a lot. But I don't do that anymore. I think them days are almost over of making them big meals. So this is what I'm going to be eating this week. I thought about Mom today too a lot, because I used to go down to her house and she'd come in, she'd say, now you sit in my chair. And I said, no, Mom, I don't want to sit in your recliner. I'll sit over here in this other chair. She said, well, now wait a minute. And she would go into the kitchen and she would come in with a little sandwich sack. 2 different sandwich sacks, little ones. And one would have that KB bologna in it in chunks. She'd chunk it up about that big. And she would have Colby cheese in the other one, or Swiss, one or the other. Because my sister, Tootie, used to bring her down Swiss cheese a lot. And she'd always cut everything up in chunks, and then that's what she would snack on. So, yeah, she used to give me some of that, and it always, for some reason, I could do it at home or whatever, always tastes better at Mom's. Always tasted better at Mom's house. I'm going to chunk this up. He bought a bunch of carabes too. We already done the rutabagas, but I'll be doing the carabes, or whatever they call them things. I guess it depends on what your accent is. Okay, that, and we'll just chop these potatoes up. Oops, there's a little piece of skin. And what I do is I take and I saute all this stuff down, and then I cook it. I didn't bring out too many potatoes because I don't want a lot of potatoes in it. Just some. Just some of them. All right, we got that. And then we'll cut this up. Very loose cabbage. But it's really good. It tastes like the other cabbage, and it's got just a little bit of a nicer taste, I think. I don't know how to explain that, but it does to me. Okay. Take that off of there. Well, what you all having for supper tonight, but this is what I'm going to have. Now that I'm older, I understand why Grandma did not want all the meat taken out of this, because I wouldn't want to eat, you know, if I meant to have it all together, I wouldn't want to eat it separate. So I'm just going to put this in here, this bowl. Sometimes you just like some different stuff. Whoops, that went on the floor. There's only a little leaf, so I'll leave it on there. I'll pick it up and I'll put it in here. Okay. These potatoes. Like I said, I didn't want too many of these potatoes. Grandma will fix a whole skillet of that. I know they didn't have a lot of money. I just knew it by the looks of the food. I mean, she cooked everything together and tried to make enough for everybody. And here's this little rich, or not rich kid, but city kid wanting to go in and pick out the meat. You know how that is. Only I would know how that is. Okay. This is Eckrich Tulsa Kielbasa Skinless. Now, what I do, I about know when this is going to come on sale again. I've been getting sales over at Campbell's for a long time, and I always buy enough until I think it's going to come out again, and then I'll go get more. Just kind of cut these up so they'll go all through the cabbage, saute. I may put a little easy onion in, I'm not sure. I never have onions here, but I do have easy onion, which squirts out of a bottle. It's sort of like that garlic, but it's onion. Bring this back over here. Put this down in here. Yeah, let's see here. This in here. I want to put this meat down at the bottom so it'll start caramelizing and sauteing quicker. So yeah, it's just skinless polka kielbasa. Eckrich. I got some of my fudge stuff out, you know, already. My ingredients to make some stuff. I'll just layer that all on the bottom. of that on the bottom. And then I'll just start putting this in there. I'll set it on the stove and start cooking and let it get sauteed up, and then I'll let it cook down, and that'll be ready for supper later. I've had yogurt so far today, which I noticed out here yogurt's going up. It's went up almost a little over 50 cents. The kind I eat. Now this will pile up, but boy, it'll go down too once it starts in. Starts cooking. I'm gonna put this on like on my burner. On that new stove, it has like a quick boil. There are two. Usually there's a big eye on the stove and a little eye, and on the back of this one's got both little ones. On the front it has got the big ones. So I like that. And then it's got the middle burner, long burner. But yeah, you just the front one is called quick boil, so it's a bigger thing, and it really cooks quickly. You got to be careful, and it just turns right on. Of course, got a couple more potatoes in there. So we'll put this on the stove, lid on it. Stick it over here on the stove, which I'm very close to. Stick that down about medium. Then, of course, this will go in the garbage. So, I found a 3-ingredient a 3-ingredient, ooh, let's clean that mess up. That was that grease spoon. For bugles. And I had to get this. I got a bigger bag, and I thought I don't really need the bigger bag. I just need this many to do this. And then I've got the white melting chips, and then I bought 2 of these last year. These little melted, they're not very big, but you know, they're just right for your dipping and melting if you're doing a recipe like this. And it's really simple, and we'll do it, but all you gotta do is get these and bugles, and you melt your white chocolate or chocolate, whatever, which one you want. I prefer white. And you dip these, the end of them, the big end, you dip them down in that melted white chocolate or chocolate. And then you get 1 M&M, and you can get if you could find the red and green ones for Christmas is good. I don't know how many of them's going to be in here. But you just stick that kind of on the end on there, and then you just lay them out and let them dry. It's supposed to be really good. And one year, it was before I moved over here, it was probably 5 years ago. Maybe more. Gosh, it's been that long. I took Ruffles potato chips, and I dipped them in white, half of it, and then I dipped some of them in chocolate, half of them, and I just laid them out on a tray. But you kind of have to do these at the last minute if you're going to keep them fresh. But I think. I don't know that for sure. But I'd lay them out on a tray with like Buckeyes and different stuff. And when the kids came over and the grandkids, they just get on that tray and eat whatever they wanted off of that tray. Well, I remember them potato chips going quicker than anything. Just a simple potato chip dipped in chocolate. And then I done pretzels, the big round pretzels, and dip them in. And they're really simple to make too. But anyway, there's so many things that you can make. And but I bought these pans. Okay. Sorry if that hurt your eyes. They don't even say the size of them. But anyway, every one of them's got a lid. So what I'm going to do is I got 10 of these. I'm going to put some foil in that and over the sides like I always do my fudge. And I'm going to make some chocolate mentha cream. That chocolate mentha cream that I done that one. It's been, oh my gosh, 12, 13 years ago I started making it. And maybe longer than that. And I'm going to use these pans for the fudge. That way I can cool it down, put this over it, and either stack it in the freezer or the refrigerator. And then they'll be ready to take out and cut and put on the dishes. So I brought 3 of these out because I'm planning on making several different kinds of fudge. One thing about fudge is when you get to making it, you just keep going with it. And I use it just like I've always made it, on the stove, 5-minute fudge. And I use marshmallows instead of marshmallow cream and stuff like that. So you all know, you've seen how the fudge turns out because I put one of them online the other day, pouring that in slow motion. So anyway, yeah, we got a lot of stuff going, and I want to try to do at least one thing every day, but I want to get my supper on because that's something I don't want to have to do at the last minute. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. Right now. I'm going to get me a drink here. This is a little cup that Jason, or a big cup, JC got me at Panama City. Anyway, God bless you. We'll see. Let you know down at the bottom how this looks. Let me see here. Let me take you over here. I still haven't got the back wall done yet where we put the new stove in. I'm still thinking about it here. What do we put there? I got stuff, but I just haven't got it up yet. How many knows that story? You got it, but you ain't done it yet. Just now got done with all... Well, I'm not going to do that because I'm pouring it everywhere. Anyway, this is a pot full. Got it on the stove. And I'll let that cook down and I'll take a picture of it when I'm done. God bless.